The Sony PlayStation 5 has come out to more accolades and success, as well as criticism and conflict, than any other console in history. The question is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it. Watch the rest of the review and find out why. The PlayStation 5 is powered by a custom 8-core AMD Zen 2 CPU and a custom AMD Radeon RDNA 2-based GPU that will provide 10.28 teraflops of raw graphical power. So far, I've played NBA 2K21, which I ran at 4K 60 frames per second, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which I ran at 1080p 120 frames per second, and Cyberpunk 2077, which I ran at 4K upscaling on the PS4 version. All of the games have performed extremely well, to the point that I seem dissatisfied for my friends for their Cyberpunk experience because I have yet to have any huge errors. I've only had crashes with very, very minor graphical bugs. I've found the gameplay on the PS5 to be extremely smooth when compared to the last generation, especially when you consider online play. The new Wi-Fi 6 chip that it has equipped with it will not only suit it for today, but for the future for all your gaming needs. If you compare the specifications of the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 side by side, you'll notice that the Xbox Series X has a slight computational advantage. It has 12 teraflops of computational power versus the 10.28 that the PlayStation 5 has. This has yet to prove itself as a huge difference in computational power, especially when it comes to games, as teraflops is not necessarily the best measure of the computational power for gaming. But we've seen actually the PlayStation 5 outperforming the Series X on games like Assassin's Creed. Where the PlayStation 5 really shines, though, is the new DualSense controller. This, I think, is the next level of gaming and what brings you truly to the next generation. Not only do you have haptic feedback over the entire controller, which gives you a sense and feel of immersion in the game like nothing ever before, but you have the adaptive triggers, which allow you the sensation of pulling a trigger when you're firing a gun. They also allow you the sensation of stamina. When you're playing a game like 2K21, as you get lower on stamina, it becomes harder to pull the trigger, so you actually feel like you're connected to your player. Not only is the DualSense controller equipped with haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, but it's also equipped with a microphone as well as a speaker. When I first got the console, the last thing I ever expected was that I would be using the controller, speaker, and microphone more than I would be using a headset. But currently, if I'm not playing a first-person shooter where I'm interested in hearing where people are around me in 360 sound, I really don't like wearing a headset anymore. If I'm playing 2K21 online with some friends, we go ahead, hop on, and play the PS5 just talking through our controllers, and it actually is extremely good at noise canceling everything else in the room, and you don't get a sound feedback, which is extremely impressive when you consider how close the speaker is to the microphone array. The PlayStation 5 has not only the share feature that you saw brought to light in the PlayStation 4, but it also features the broadcast function, which allows you to stream directly to Twitch or YouTube from your console. It also allows you to connect to the PlayStation 5 camera so that you can directly use the feed from your camera in your Twitch or YouTube stream. The PlayStation 5 comes in two versions. You have the standard disc version for $499.99 US, and you have the digital-only version for $399.99 US. The only difference between the disc version and the digital version is the lack of the optical drive on the digital version. Unlike the Xbox Series S, the digital version actually has all the same computational power as the disc version. All of the recordings you're seeing of my gameplay were captured directly with the share feature on the PlayStation 5 and then transferred simply to a USB drive plugged into the front of the console. So if you're watching this video, you're probably wondering one of two things. Should I get the PlayStation 5 and is it worth the money? Well, if you can, yes. And on the second front, absolutely. We've never seen a package offered to gamers in this way on both consoles, actually. To be completely honest, any new generation console you get is going to be a huge upgrade. When they came out with the last generation with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, you were looking at computational power that was far, far, far behind what you could get with a gaming PC. Now, if you tried to build anything close to the performance that you're getting out of the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X, you're looking at $1,500 to $2,000, and you might not even be able to match the 4K ray tracing capabilities of both consoles with that price. So if you're thinking about getting a PlayStation 5, I would definitely recommend doing so. I've loved every second of my experience with this console so far, and I feel like I'm learning more and more about the console and the controller as time goes on. What sold me on the PS5 was the controller and the list of exclusives. I can't wait for the new God of War game, I can't wait for the new Horizon Zero Dawn game, and this controller has been an absolute game breaker for me.